All right, hello everybody, and welcome to the U.S. Inkling Open, hosted by Battlefy in conjunction with Nintendo and casted by InkTV. My name is Ninehole Grains, and I am excited today to be joined on commentary by my friend Hitzel89. Hitzel, how you doing?
Hey, what's going on? What's going on stream?
We got a lot to get to on this pregame show and not a lot of time, so Hitzel, take it away with your Splatoon 101.
Yeah, sure. For everybody who's new to Splatoon, maybe tuning in from the front page of Twitch or some other link or something like that, Splatoon is a fast-paced team shooter based on territory control. When I say fast-paced, you can think of something a little bit faster than your average console shooter, like maybe like Quake or Call of Duty or maybe something like Counter-Strike, but not quite as fast as, like Halo or Call of Duty or Counter-Strike, and not quite as fast as something like Halo or, Quake or Unreal Tournament. And by territory control, I mean that literally everything that you do in Splatoon, every combat action that you take, also paints the environment. And paint is a big deal because both opposing teams have their own color paint. Paint helps you move faster. It helps you by healing you. It helps you by being able to hide in ink. And it helps you reload for your team's color ink, while enemy ink does the opposite. So it's going to slow you down, it's going to hurt you, it's going to reveal you, and it's going to make it so you can't restore your resources. So in addition to it being what will seem sort of like a standard kind of team-based shooter, we'll also going to be seeing a lot of territory control based on that, so make sure to look out for it. And another nice thing about Splatoon is it has motion controls, which are really, really cool. So while you're playing the game, your controller also contributes towards your aim, which makes it so you have the joystick control for movement and such, like a console shooter, but you have much more fine-tuned control over your aim. Not quite the same as mouse and keyboard, but it's very precise and it makes for a good competitive game.
Yeah, and this tournament is really going to showcase a lot of the things talking about here. It's kind of a unique tournament. Last week, for those of you unaware, we started with 140 teams, and it was open entry for anybody in the United States that was 18 or older. And that's because there's some pretty sick prizes that we'll get to in a minute. But we've worked down to the final 16. And the bracket structure for today is pretty unique. A lot of times tournaments will kind of have, in one round, you'll have multiple different modes. And there are 4 modes in Splatoon, but this one, entire rounds are dedicated to each mode. This first round that you'll be seeing will be Turf War. After that, we'll see Splat Zones. After that will be Tower Control, and then Rainmaker. And we'll go into what those modes are a little bit more in depth later. But the prizes, like I mentioned, grand prize, and this has kind of been the real calling card for the tournament. The winning team gets a trip to E3. They get Nintendo Switches. They all get copies of Splatoon 2. They get hats, and then they also get a Jack-specific Inkling Boy figure, which is pretty rare, I think, kind of a limited edition type of deal. Second prize gets copies of Splatoon 2, the hat and the figure. Third prize gets a copy of Splatoon 2 and the figure, and then also one team, which we'll be finding out later, will win a random drawing, which gets a copy of Splatoon 2 as well. So a lot of stuff at stake here today, and really the only tournament with this level of prizes, especially in the United States, right? There was one in a European tournament, I believe, that was similar, right?
Yeah, no, we've had some tournaments with some pretty good prizes, but I think that even if the value of some of the other tournaments, like money-wise, starts to get close to what we're offering for this one, if you think about it, the intangible value of this tournament is pretty high, because not only do you get your Nintendo Switch, you get your Splatoon, and you get some other thing that's like worth X amount of money for like trip and et cetera, but you get to go to E3 with your friends.
Yeah.
Which like even if the money value starts to compare with other stuff, that experience is kind of a little bit invaluable.
Right, and that E3 trip, they're going to get to play Splatoon 2 early, if I'm not mistaken, and yeah, just an experience that you're not going to be able to get anywhere else, even if the cash prizes do start to get to that level.
Yeah.
But we talked about teams, 16 teams here today. Hitzel, do you kind of want to run down the list of the teams that we'll be seeing here today that'll be putting on a show for us?
Yeah, we can go ahead and look at the bracket for this now. Just to let everyone know, the first round that we're going to play today is going to be Turf War. After that first round, we're going to go right into the ranked modes, and I'm kind of excited for that because we've been showing off Turf War so far in the tournament, and it's been a really good way to introduce new players to Splatoon and stuff like that. But I also really want to show off this game that I really love to the world, because I know there's people that don't play Splatoon that are tuning in, and once we start to show off those ranked modes, it's going to be something I'm kind of proud to show other competitive gamers. But as far as teams, right at the top, Deadbeat is, I mean, they're pretty much the team to win. They are a very successful team, lots of powerful and individually skilled players from different backgrounds that they've been a team for a couple months now, and not only do they have like a really strong individual skill, but they've gotten really good teamwork and really good practice habits to back it up. And so they're right at the top. We have some other teams that some big names like Speedruns Live, Deep Blues, Get Kraken, and a few other teams like Kairos and Black Paper we see at the bottom. These are a lot of teams that have either been around for a while or have proven themselves a lot lately. We also have some more recent tournaments that have, some more recent teams that have popped up and gotten sponsorships like In Control Yami and such. And so that's pretty exciting that we get to see a lot of these teams that have like gotten sponsorships and such lately, it's still able to kind of show up to like this US only tournament. So that's pretty cool that we get to see that talent.